Fear is the topic of discussion today because I know it's something that's plagued you for such a long time. And by the end of this video, when you watch into the end of this video, you're going to be empowered, encouraged, right? You're going to be a lot more educated when it comes to fear and how it's operating in your life and how you can release it so that you can go from your current situation to your desired situation. So we're bridging the gap talking about fear today. This is Mekus with the Continence Club. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My email's in the description if you want to work with me one-on-one. If you have additional video requests, I will address those and I will get it put onto the channel. With that being said, let's get right into this one. It's time to demonstrate. Today, it's all about overcoming fear, as you may see in the title. And to address fear and overcome it, we have to talk about what it is. And fear is an identification with a negative possibility, a state of consciousness where you believe in the threat to your desired reality, leading to a feeling of punishment and lack. So when you look into this definition of fear, it's quite interesting because as it's saying, you're identifying with a negative possibility. So it's a possibility. It's not anything that's guaranteed here, right? When it comes to fear, you know, a state of consciousness where you believe in a threat to your desired situation. So you're actually believing that there could be some sort of threat to whatever it is that's going on, leading to a feeling of punishment and lack. So when you look at this definition of fear, one thing definitely stands out, and it's that it's perception. It's the way that you look at something. You know, you're believing in a threat. And what threat do you believe in? Because a lot of times that threat that you believe in is something that you made up in your own head, right? The fear of other people thinking about you or judging you. A lot of times nobody cares. You know, a lot of times nobody's really thinking about you in a way that's putting you down, and you're really living in your own head. And, you know, this anxiety, a lot of times it's what you make up. And so, you know, this definition of fear alone shows you that you can even be thinking in a way that isn't really even serving you. You know, you're identifying with a negative possibility. So here, I'm not saying that, you know, fear could actually help you. You know, fear could actually allow you to see that you're actually in danger, you know, right? But a lot of times, you know, your fear is something that you make up. You know, there's really nothing to fear at the end of the day. And once you realize this, once you understand that a lot of power is within inside of you and there's nothing out to get you, no external force or anything along those lines, you're going to be that much closer to your desired situation. So a lot of times you're impressing your subconscious mind, you know, like I talk about in my videos, with fear. And so for that reason, you're creating a current situation in which you're going to have something to fear, right? So it's really your perception and attention. And I say all that because, you know, the truth is that your fear alone is keeping you in your current situation. You keep on thinking about the negatives over the positives, right? And any possible tendency for you to complain about your situation rests with you to change it and make it your desired situation. So it's all on you. It's all on you to make a change. Because if you don't, who will? Let me say that again. If you don't make a change, who will? Everybody has their own unique life to worry about. So you have to be the number one fan in your life. You have to be that person who is going to get you from point A to point B. And you can definitely have help along the way. That's the reason why I tell you to reach out if you need any support, right? And yeah, I get it. It's hard to stay positive in your current situation, but persist in your desired situation. It will harden into a fact. I talk about it, and I'm going to talk about it again. Living from the end is important. I know it's hard to live from the end when you have unpaid bills. I know it's hard to live in the end when your car got towed. I know it's hard to live in the end when your relationship is over, when your health might not be in order. I know it's hard to really think about the positives in those situations, but I promise you, you're doing yourself much more of a favor if you keep your mind where it needs to be versus keeping your mind in, you know, those things that are keeping you stuck in your current situation. So what do you want to choose? Because your mental attitude determines your situation. Your mental attitude is why you're in your current situation, and your mental attitude is going to be why you're in your desired situation. And so ultimately, I have to say that fear is really just a reflection of the limits you have in your own mind. Whatever you fear, you're going to create, because that's what where your attention is. I've even made a video on your attention. I've made a video on this because your attention is so important, because when you keep telling yourself in your current situation that this is going wrong for you, or that you're not good enough, or that you're a victim, or that something's out to get you, well, that's true. All of those things are definitely true. If you want it to be, if that's where your attention is, that's what you're going to get, right? So once you get a grasp of your attention, you can redirect it into what you actually want. And that's how you're going to bridge the gap today after this video, by shifting your perception, right, to who you want to become. And so your progress, right, the gap is limited to your ability to overcome any adverse condition by power of your thought. So as you slowly eliminate fear on the way to your desired situation, the shift happens. Because a lot of times, look around, look at the people around you. They're operating in fear. They think so much about what can go wrong instead of what can go right. And you wonder why they're stuck. And then whenever you become the catalyst in your city, in your friend group, and you remove fear and you're moving with a sense of purpose, it can intimidate some people, and, it can make them feel like, they have something to prove as well. So you could either be an inspiration to people, or you could be somebody that other people, might envy. But, you weren't born to fit in anyways. You were born to stand out. And so understand, on your path to your desired situation, you delay your desired situation during the gap when you have resistant, discordant, and critical thoughts, especially fear. Fear is such a low vibrational type of energy that you deal with. And it's something that you don't want. And it's something that the version of you in your desired situation doesn't have. So recognize that you are the true source of your desired situation. This is going to eliminate all fear that you have inside of you, because all the power started with you and it's going to end with you. And so, the saying, keep your eyes on the prize. That's literally all you have to do, and concentrate on the conditions you desire to see in your life, because it will harden into fact. And I say it, and I'm going to say it again. It doesn't matter what is true. The only thing that matters is what you think is true, because over time it will become true. So to achieve your desired situation, you just have to let go. Let your light shine. Don't be afraid to walk with your chest up, to talk confidently, to do what you say you're going to do. Don't be afraid. Don't think that anyone's out to get you, because they're not. Ultimately, it might seem like that surface level on the outside, but the reality is you have much of the power. You don't have to look like this guy right here every day. You don't have to look like this guy over here every day. You shouldn't be scared of anything, right? So to let your light shine, you just have to live in the end. Keep non-restrictive thoughts. Think about it this way. Why would you want to restrict your thoughts anyways? If you could have it your way in a perfect world, wouldn't you want to be limitless? Wouldn't you want to think the way that you want to think? You wouldn't want to be restricted. You wouldn't want to be limited, right? You wouldn't want to keep yourself down. So there's no reason to do it anymore. There's no reason to do it now, right? So be courageous, be confident, maintain your wish fulfilled, because once fear is eliminated, you're going to be unstoppable. So instead of saying I can't, say I can. Instead of saying I'm afraid to fail, say something that's going to be self-affirming instead of this. Say you're looking forward to succeeding, right? Don't say that this goal will be difficult to reach. Say with time, I'm going to achieve this goal when it's ready to be mine, right? What about what they will think, right? What about what I think? How about that? It never mattered what they thought anyways. Haven't you realized that successful people, people that really earned their keep, people didn't really believe in them. They believed in themselves. They didn't really have people on their side. And the saying, it's lonely at the top, and it is, because you have such a big dream that a lot of people can't even dream of. They think so little, yet you think so big. So why did it matter what they thought in the first place? Look how big they're thinking compared to you. Not even close. But I'm not ready yet. I don't know how I will make it happen. Right? You never had to worry about how it's going to happen. All you have to do is set the intention, work towards it every day, do what you think is necessary to get there, and things are going to happen. God is going to open the doors for you to get closer to your goal. Don't really worry about how. Obviously, it's great to make a plan, but as long as you set that intention and you're living through your heart and you're overcoming fear and you're walking in your light, or in your purpose, don't worry about how it's going to happen, because it will happen, right? So understand that fear is just a feeling state. It's really not real. It can help you when it comes to real life threatening situations, but other than that, it's really what you make up in your own head, going back to the definition today, right? And so essentially it's an illusion. Fear isn't really real. It's how you see it in your own mind. And so once you get a grasp of this and you leverage it in a way that isn't a part of your life, you're just going to be walking and things are just going to be happening to you left and right. And you're going to be happy that you eliminated fear. And so with that being said, this is Mekus with the Continence Club. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Again, my email's in the description if you want to work with me one-on-one, or if you have additional video topics for me to address. Keep on going. I'll see you on the other side. And until next time.